Right then, guys, welcome to the Real Pod. Right, guys, welcome to the third episode of the Real Pod. Our guest today is a Birmingham Commonwealth hometown hero, 2022, England's first level 2 hijab wearing boxing coach. She was also involved in the Queen's Baton relay. She's a coach at a local boxing gym and also works in the civil crime sector. Can I introduce and welcome Haseebah to the podcast? Welcome, Haseebah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
nice
making the time.
introduction. You did your research. Now I'm worried.
We're professionals. We're professionals.
We're trying.
I'm worried.
We're 3 in, but we're trying.
You said that I'm the level 2 first hijab wearing level 2. I'm the first hijab boxing coach for England.
Yeah.
Not just full stop. Yeah. So then I progressed from level 1 to level 2. And
how many levels?
It can go up, so you can go up to 3, 4, and then Haseebah stars and all of that. So I'm looking to do my 3rd soon.
Okay.
Nice, that's very good.
Yeah.
First question, without sounding stereotypical. Why boxing?
You know what's funny? My whole family did it. It was just tradition.
Okay.
It wasn't like I had to fight to do it. It was more like you go into the gym, you're going to learn how to fight, and you better know how to look after yourself kind of thing. So it's probably not the story people expect me to have. I have 5 brothers, 2 sisters, big family. It's survival of the fittest all the time. Especially when you're younger, everything was just fight.
So where
if you want to have your dinner on time, you better come down and have it. Otherwise, someone else.
See, I love that.
So in order, where are you then? Second, third. What eldest are you then?
I am I need to count 6. I'm
number 6.
Yeah, I'm too young for this.
I wouldn't want to bump into any of them, to be fair.
yeah. I'm technically the baby of the family. One of the babies of the family.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So is this something your brother's father, they're all in the gym?
So pretty much what it was Windmill Amateur Boxing Club, where I work now.
Okay.
Was the gym that we all started at. So initially it was my older brothers, Bazaar.
Yes.
I think Abs in Stoke. But he went to Windmill first with Abu Sufyan. My dad thought it was a really good place for them to go and kind of train and focus and keep off the streets, really. And my dad got on with the head coach, Bill Lawrence, really well. So Bill would come down for tea after the gym, and we had a really good relationship. So it just continued, and I think that's what helped with that comfortability with my dad sending me there, because he knew Bill. Mm-hmm. He knew him inside out, and he's a family kind of environment, and he only saw the benefit in it. You know, he didn't really come from that cultural perspective or that traditional mindset that, it's not a place for women. He thought, you know what, you need to know how to fight, you need to know how to look after yourself, you need to get fit. And that was positive for him. So that's how it happened, really. And I've never stopped.
So obviously by the sounds of it, you've had a lot of support from your father. Well, besides the obvious of, you've got to go and do it. But, like you just said, and we'll hopefully break some stereotypical today, but is you were supported and
100%.
pushed to go to the gym
100%.
to do boxing, to look after yourself. I'm assuming it was the same for your brothers, as well as your brothers pushing you to go to the gym as well.
I think I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my family, in all honesty. And I have to shout out my mum, because she's going to say, excuse me, I was there supporting you as well. So, it was just that general, in the home, it was a norm. Mm-hmm. And because it was a norm, to be honest, I was in a bit of a bubble. Until I went out to different clubs, did I realise, hold on, I stand out like a sore thumb. I don't really fit into this game. At the club, it was home, it felt normal. And then when I went away to different clubs, it felt like I'm the only brown girl floating around. On top of it, I was wearing a headscarf. So I did get funny looks. And that's when I thought, okay, I am different here. So I was naive. I was very naive and in my little Windmill bubble. And I think without my brother's support, specifically Abu Sufyan, head coach at Windmill, and it might sound like I'm being biased, but he genuinely sees me as a coach when I'm at the gym. The sister-brother bond, he's like, forget that, you're a professional, you need to get your job done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. And he's guided me the whole way. He's my mentor, he's my head coach still to this day. So credit does go to them, because it was in that generation and in that time to have that mindset. Hats off to them, because I'm sure they got questions from everyone.
I was going to say, because they probably not necessarily found it tough, but maybe found it awkward at some times.
Definitely.
In the area where you will
Especially in
get,
the Asian community, we know.
you know, let's be honest,
Absolutely, yeah.
we, if nobody else, we might have Asians against us after this podcast.
People
but
have
anyway,
asked my dad.
they're
People
going to
have
be
asked my
like,
dad.
why are you letting your sister go? Do you mind me saying
Yes,
this? Why are you
yeah,
letting her go?
course,
Why
yeah,
is she in the
course.
gym?
Yeah.
There's guys in there. I'm going to be straight on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
I've been
Yeah,
looking forward to this
absolutely.
podcast. I have, yeah. I really
I
have.
said to him, I
Yeah.
said, look, we're either going to get cancelled or we're going to shoot up.
No,
Something's going to
no,
happen.
you're going to shoot up in a good way. In a good
But
way.
for you to like have that typically, because a lot of people will think, yeah, Muslim girl, let's be honest, why she isn't in the kitchen or at home. That's what people think out there.
The typical
the
stereotype.
typical
Yeah, yeah.
stereotypes, and within the Asian community as well.
Yeah, so you got
why
the
are you
Asian,
letting her go
you
out
got the Asian
and do
community,
this?
and then you got people who don't understand what we're really about. You know, with
Yeah.
all the media images that Muslims get, and specifically Muslim women. I've got a
Definitely.
big problem with that because no woman in my family is what other people or
What's on
think.
TV?
Absolutely,
What's on
yeah,
TV?
yeah.
And I'm so glad you're on here. When he told me that we could get you on here, I was like, mate, you smashed it because.
Oh no, I'm nervous now because his expectations up here.
No, but like your story is amazing. You know, I understand being the only brown person and being in a room full of just, you know, you're on your own.
Absolutely.
And I understand that. And for a woman and in a boxing environment, like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I mean, if you know the environment, you know how male dominated it is.
Exactly.
Things are
100%.
changing.
Yes.
But how it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it other than it's just crazy. But I think going back to your question, my dad definitely got questions. They'd be like, "Oh, why'd you let your daughter go?" And I do, like I said, hats off to my dad because he's not young. If he's watching, I'm sorry, but as in, you know, he's not from a new generation with a new thinking. He's in his 70s, you know, and I think it was because he never really let culture dominate
See, that's
the rules
amazing.
and values within our home.
Yeah.
Yes.
My dad is more inclined to religion, and far from perfect. We're just triers. That's it. That's all we are. We try to focus on what's important and try to like block out the noise. And I think within our community, we've always lived there. We've been raised there, so everybody knows us, knows what we're about. Everybody knows Windmill, and we've managed to change those minds. So the same people that said, "Why'd you let your daughter do it?" They're sending their sisters and daughters, and I don't gloat about that. It's not something, but it's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
we've changed mindsets within our own community. As much as we say, "Oh, other people look at us differently," it's really important that we change mindsets within our own communities and within our own homes first.
100%.
100%.
And I think, you know, we've done it, and I don't want to sound like we're showing off, but now the little area that Smethwick is where Windmill is located. The mindsets have changed and it's amazing. So now I do sessions at churches, mosques, within the mosque, you know, and once upon a time that would have been unheard of.
Unheard of,
Do you know what I mean? So people are definitely seeing the positive of it. And that was a process, don't get me wrong, it was a very long process. And I went through the whole rebellious stage. So I was young, I was loud, if you can't tell already. I was very like sure of himself. So I was like, I don't, you know, anyone that drop a comment, if it was from external family members or anywhere or anyone, I'd straight away argue. Like I had no kind of like barrier or anything. So I'd argue. I'd be like, no, what do you mean? Da, da, da. And my dad was like, you need to learn to pick your fights. He goes, look, tomorrow you're gonna get up and you're gonna go to the gym again. That shouldn't affect you. That conversation shouldn't affect you. And then as you grow up, I think as you mature up, you realise you pick your battles and who you're wasting your time on. You know, who you're not wasting your time on. And eventually people see the benefits outweigh that maybe that little bit of negative that you might have in your mind. And more than anything, it's the lack of knowledge people have of the sport. Once you teach them about it, once you show them the ropes a little bit, then they think, okay, you know, this might be all right for my kids.
Yeah.
So it's about
100%.
education, to be honest.
Yeah.
100%
We need
agree.
people like that, you know, in our
Definitely.
community specifically. Like, I'm so happy seeing what your dad's done. Like, I'd love to meet him one day and shaking his hand because I'd be like, that's the image or that's the vision I have for my family going forward. You know what I mean? In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and stuff and MMA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like most people know.
crazy.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
But it's just like it's boxing at the end of the day. It's part of it.
sport, yeah.
And people like you with your boxing background, most people know what boxing is because they've watched some form of a boxing fight.
Absolutely.
And now imagine the position I'm in where a lot of people, you got to explain to them the difference between MMA, UFC,
Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu
Yeah.
or grappling in general. It's massive. And I'm just trying. Now I've got him on board as well. So,
Yeah.
you know, maybe
I
we'll
did
get
watch
him.
your first episode, so congratulations on
Thank
that
you very
belt.
much. Thank you.
And now I'll behave on the podcast. 'Cause I'm worried.
So if I can ask, what made you? So okay, you've been not necessarily pushed into, but encouraged into the gym environment,
Yeah.
into the boxing world, if you like.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You say encourage. You know what was our fun on the weekends? So my dad used to get us all together. If my cousins would come round, he used to get the bar, the weight bar, with no weights on it because we were only young. And he'd say, all right, let's see who can do the most. All of us. And he'd just make us stand in a circle and just do random exercises because that was fun for us. Like, I don't know, it was always a thing within our house where we were quite competitive. Even now, there's not a day where we all get together at my dad's house and we're just wrestling, we're grappling, we're doing something, we're always showing each other something. So I think, I don't want to say we're aggressive because that comes across quite bad, but we're
You're
just
quite an athletic family then, aren't you? Between you guys.
Just hide the sweets. But yeah, we try. I think we have a passion for it. We enjoy it and it's fun for us. So I think because we've always done it, it feels second nature for me. So my whole life I've balanced work. I've done everything kind of the traditional way. I went to college, uni, I work, it's not just the boxing world, but I've balanced the boxing world alongside it. So people look at me and they think, oh, she's only a coach. But in the day, I'm a civil servant. I do a 9 to 5 like everybody else. I come home, quick food. I'm getting ready and I'm going gym. And that's the routine.
Crime fighter by day, superhero by night.
Yeah. Oh, we don't talk about the day job, but yeah. Something like that. But yeah, it's different. It is completely different. In the day, I'm all smart and I do my job and then I'm a professional setting. And then in the evening, I'm there holding pads for boxers. So, I love it. I love the balance.
What made you take this step regarding the hijab? Because I'm sure, again, you would have got a lot of, depends which side they're on, but good and bad press or good and negative.
You know what's funny? I don't think I got any negativity from it, to be fair. Either because people don't want to say it to my face, or
Probably.
Most probably.
yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine because either way I heard it. But again, it doesn't trigger me because truthfully, if it's important to me and I've done it and I think there's benefit in it, then that's me done. I don't need to justify it to anyone. I don't need brownie points from anyone. And truthfully, you're never going to please everyone.
100%.
And it's not your job to please everyone.
Nope.
Boxing's my world, and if I enjoy and I know what my fighters are getting from it, then I'm going to continue because that's my area. I can't comment on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I don't know that, and it's as simple as that. So when I did the ruling, when I put forward my study, so what kind of happened was, I'll give you a little bit of background. I wanted to compete, and I was good. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I'll put it on camera.
On here, you have to use Bruce Lee's quote where he says, "If I'm saying I'm good, you're gonna say I'm gloating, and if I say I'm bad, then I'm lying."
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to lie because you told me to be honest, but no, you know what it is. I really enjoyed it, and I was good. I was told I was good, so I can go by what I was told, right? I went to a lot of sparring sessions with all these girls who were entering competitions, and every time I'd go, they'd weigh me in and they'd ask me how many bouts, and I'd say no bouts, and they'd say, you're lying to us, you've had bouts. And I said, I've not had any bouts. And my coach, Abu Sufyan, used to say to me, hold back on your power, because I'm a little thing, but I was tiny at the time, and he'd say, hold back on your power, don't show them everything straight away. And I just couldn't, because I was just a crazy little scrappy dude is what they used to say. So I just got to the point where, why can't I compete? I just don't get it. Like, why is there no one to kind of speak for me? And I think at the time there were no female coaches for me to go and ask. Truthfully, I didn't know the route of how to change the rules. And then it came to a stage where I didn't want to leave the gym and I didn't want to just pack everything, and I love it. It's home and it's part of my life, really. And so Sufyan said, why don't you get yourself on a coaching course? And I didn't do like an official England boxing one initially. I just did like a box tutor course. Did that, helped around the gym. So I was always present. I always did everything I could at the gym. And then he goes, all right, let's get you on the level 1 and get you official badged up and stuff. And I did. And I remember on my first level 1 coaching course, I walked into Tamworth and everyone just looked at me like, what is she doing here?
I'm guessing with the hijab on.
Yeah. So I started wearing my hijab in secondary school. And for me, I don't really talk about religion too much because I don't want to preach to anyone, and what I do is for my personal self. Yes. And so when I decided to wear it, nothing could make me take it off. Like I've made that decision, I've committed to it, and as much as I love the sport, it just wasn't a good enough reason for me to take it off. It was priority for me. So walked into Tamworth now, and everyone just looked at me like, what is she doing here? And there was no females on my course. So it wasn't just that I was a Muslim woman or an Asian woman. There were no other females at all. And they just looked at me and they were like, "You're right, Bab." I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, thanks." You know, and I'm confident. I am confident. even if...
we can tell.
Even if I'm a bit nervous inside, I try not to show it. So then on my course, I remember the first thing that happened was the head coach, Alan, who's actually an amazing tutor and an amazing friend now that I can reach out to any point. He goes, "So who wants to show us how to do this technique?" And everyone was pin drop silence. And he goes, "So you all want to become coaches, but nobody wants to speak." And I was like, "Listen, I'll do it." He goes, "Nah, Bab, I'm not putting the pressure on you." I said, "No, I'll do it. Like that's I'm here to do the job. Let me do it." And I did exactly what we do at our gym. And he goes, "Where'd you learn that?" He just went silent. He goes, "Where'd you learn that?" And I said, "Just something we do at our gym." And he goes, "I like your style." And then I went back at. So you leave a decent impression initially, and then it just went up from there. And I never stopped. And I think I left a decent impression because they call me back for like an England squad. They call me back to teach the level ones now, so to become a tutor myself.
Nice.
Yeah, so the same people that are saying, "What you doing here?" Well, listen, I'm going to pass or fail you, so you better be careful with your ideas in your
Love
head.
it.
But yeah. So, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It can be daunting. But I think I just had that mentality that, you know what, I don't really care what anyone says. I need to get my badges. I need to get what I need to get. I need to come back and I can corner the boys and the girls at the club. And that was my aim. So I just grew from there.
I think because...
Not in the physical sense.
Still too dangerous.
Yeah. Too much power.
Oh,
So
God.
obviously, so you started the journey of the coaching. Obviously, how can I put it?
Sorry, I didn't even answer your question after all of that.
No,
about the
it's
rules
cool.
and the change of the rules.
So, what made you? Obviously, you've done the coaching. You're level 1 at this stage, yeah. At that stage when you when you went into Tamworth, yeah.
Yeah, level
So
1.
you're level 1. What made you push? How can I explain that? Because I don't want to cross the wires. So you're in coaching now. You stopped boxing. Why? Because you couldn't wear a hijab yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, couldn't
'Cause that's what I
compete.
wanted to know.
So I wasn't
as
allowed
well
to compete with it
before
on.
we got to coaching, yeah.
And they'd always say to me, "Why don't you just tie your hair up in a bandana?" Or, you know, and I was like, no, the whole kit is just not appropriate for me and it's not for me. So unless you allow me to cover my arms and cover my hair properly, then I can't compete. Like, it's just a no-go. And I think, truthfully, that there was no one there to represent me. There was no one there to kind of question it or challenge it. And then what happened was after I did my level 1, I kind of thought about it. I was like, hold on, why is... It's a sport at the end of the day. Like, it should be open to everyone. If I want to learn how to box and I want to train, I should be able to just do it. And that's it. If you feel like it's a barrier for you, that's you as an individual. But if you as an individual feel like it's for me, why should someone else stop you based on the way you look? Should I be being judged on my athletic performance or the way I look?
Yes.
100%.
What am I here for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. 100%.
Yeah.
So,
In my head, it's going ding, ding, ding,
okay,
ding.
that's
ding.
good. That's good. Okay. And then I spoke to Alan at Tamworth and he said, "Why is it that you did?" And I explained everything. And it is that knowledge thing again where people just don't understand the importance of it or the value of it or what it requires. So it was about breaking that barrier. And then I actually contacted the head of England Boxing, which is Haseebah. And I was lucky to get the direct contact. And I went away and I kind of put my study hat on and I wrote up a study. I did my research, both locally, nationally and internationally, and put forward my argument. And within a few months, I can't tell you the exact time, we got a letter to say the rules have been overturned.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well
and
done
then I
you.
remember when I was on my level 2, one of the coaches pulled out the paper and he goes, "You're going to get this letter at some point." And he said, "This is you, H. You caused this." And I read it and it was the rule change. I was like, "You better know I caused this." But yeah, it went my way.
So when you say internationally, is that still the IABA or is that different federations?
No. So internationally, what I did was I was doing studies on some of the boxers who wore a headscarf
Yes.
and boxed and competitively. So obviously it's not an issue because
Yeah.
they do it. So what's the reason for us not doing it here?
Got you.
You can't say it's health and safety because we're in this century where we can create sport-specific headscarves. You know, everything's catered for. There's no
Yeah.
excuses.
Yeah, it's
Do you know what I
21st
mean?
century, yeah.
So, so I looked at specifically one of the boxers in Turkey and what she wore when she boxed and competed and how far she went. So real examples, and it went my way. And,
Good.
and now a lot more girls can, and it's not just for women who wear a headscarf, just to make clear, it's for women across the board. Because some women, they just don't want to show their arms. It's as simple as that. You don't need to have a religious backing for that argument. It can just be
Personal preference.
And why do you need to see my arms to see a scoring point landing on someone's nose?
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's because it had always been and no one had challenged it, and that it was simply that. And then the proof was in the pudding that, nothing was affecting you athletically. Nothing was like enhancing your performance by wearing a headscarf. As much as you think we look like superheroes, we're not. Do you know what I mean? So, and now a lot more women see it as an option. So I see it as a positive move for women.
100%.
In a world where we're always judged on the way we look.
Yes.
The way we no matter where you go.
Women have got it bad.
We have. I think we always get it harder. And I know everyone's going to say, no, you don't.
No, women have got it bad.
But I think we always have to work that a little bit harder just to prove ourselves. And I feel like that was me throughout my whole boxing journey. Proving why I'm here, proving what I'm doing here, what I'm for. And it always motivated me. It never let me kind of go away and crawl in a corner. I thought, yeah, okay, I'll come back with you with something better.
Nice.
So
Can I put it to you, if you don't mind, again, for some people out there, what does it mean to you wearing a hijab, wearing a scarf? What does that mean to you?
oh, you want to go deep?
You don't have to go too deep. Just
Yeah. Well,
just for the viewers, because again, you don't know Stoke. Like a lot of our viewers are going to be from Stoke and then going out.
this is the first time I've come to Stoke, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never been to Stoke.
We hope you liked it.
Yeah, it looks nice.
But there's a lot of in Stoke. There's a lot of ignorance. There's a lot lack of education.
Yeah.
And off the top of my head, I can't think of a Muslim girl who was a hijabi in Stoke who could put forward education-based evidence even, or talk like you were talking. So,
or achieved what you've achieved as well, for that matter, and the steps that you've taken.
I think, you know what, it's nice to know that people are learning about the story and stuff. And there are so many young women that are talented, and I'm sure there's so many in Stoke you just haven't heard of them.
Yes.
And you just got to find them, and I think the podcast might be your
Exactly,
platform.
hopefully.
But you know what, I think for me, my hijab, personally, number one, I do it because it's a commandment, and for me, it's something compulsory, and that's my understanding of it. And then there's deeper reasons as to why I wear it and why I chose to wear it and why I committed to it. On the surface, we won't go too deep, but on the surface it truly does empower me. I feel like it's a form of protection. I feel like straight away, and this is for both Muslim men and non-Muslim men, when I walk into a room, the first thing they see is the outer, because I haven't spoken yet. You don't know what's in my heart or what I'm going to say. You don't know my intentions, but you can see my visible uniform, which is my headscarf, which tells you that I'm a Muslim woman. So that almost sets the precedence, almost sets what you can and can't say to me. And that barrier, I like it. I like having that barrier. Like, don't step over the mark with me. I'm not your friend. I'm not your sister. I'm a professional. Talk to me like one. And if anyone slightly goes over, I'm not afraid to then use my voice and say, okay, you need to step back.
I kind of get the gist of what you're trying to say.
Do you know what I mean? It's important. I think, for me, I like it. I love it. There's not been a day that I don't want to wear it. And I know a lot of people have their struggles with it, and you would, because you looked at differently when you wear it, and it does bring its challenges. There's no
Did you
hiding
face
that.
a lot of let's say hurdles or obstacles along the way while you're trying to promote the hijab, not just the hijab, the whole kit? Did you encounter a lot of barriers where people weren't really interested? I know you passed it through and you achieved this, but until you got to that stage, did you find it hard? Did you come across struggles, or
definitely.
Like they say, just the doors being shut in your face, for a better word?
Oh, loads. I can't imagine anyone else hiring me at their club. Do you know what I mean? Because they'd just be like, I'm not sure what are we gonna attract people? Are we gonna push people away? Do you know what I mean? She stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
You can't even hide her. I think there's a lot of challenges I had. Comments. Undermining a lot of those things. I specifically remember one coach, we were on the course together, and this was my level 2, and my third brother came along with me. We were doing a level 2 together. We thought, let's go together as a club, and he said something, and it just didn't sit right with me. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna get him on his practical.
I love that.
So I just, he had his pads up, and then you slip a shot, and he was like, he goes to my brother, oh, your sister's got a hat, like a bit of power on her. And I was like, yeah, I know your place, mate. Next time I won't miss.
I love that.
But yeah, I think I've learned though, I've matured up a lot compared to I think when you're 16, 17, and you just want to fight everyone's opinions. Now it's just, I love it. I see the positives. If you don't, that's your opinion. Keep your opinion. I don't need to argue your opinion. If that's how you feel, that's good for you, carry on. But in my environment, I do expect everyone to treat me like a coach, and I will treat you like a boxer, and it's as simple as that. There's nothing else.
Nice.
And since promoting the headgear, including the whole the boxing attire for females, have you found an increase in particular in Windmill Amateur Boxing Club? Have you seen an increase in females overall? Again, regardless of what path they come from, Muslim or non-Muslim, like I said, it applies to all females. So in that respect, have you seen an increase in female classes at the gym?
Definitely.
More attendance? So
we were one of the first clubs to do ladies-only classes. And then there was like a ripple effect. All these other clubs started to kind of take on what we did because they saw that more women were coming in.
Yeah.
Women feel more comfortable around women. It can be very daunting walking into a room of 30 men training and just sweating and making crazy sounds if you hear them on the bags. So they kind of copied us in that, which is a positive thing. And then if you look around now, all the clubs, you'll see a lot more women involved in the game. A lot more. The competition's, I think, a lot more competitive now than it ever was. It used to be the same girls you spar, the same girls you box. There's not much in the weight category. Things have changed massively, and I love to see it, to be honest. I love to see it. At Windmill, we have a massive influx of South Asian women and black women. So I think these groups of women were never included in the game based on clothing. And that's one of the big reasons why participation levels were low from women of those backgrounds, simply just because they didn't feel comfortable. Creating these women's only spaces means they feel safe, they feel valued, and it's their safe haven. They can come and just relax and do what they need to do without those extra little pressures on the side. So definitely Windmill has set a kind of stage for a lot of clubs in the Midlands, across the country now, to be fair. And women's classes are just off the roof now, because I have on average 40 women weekly coming in, and that's on my ladies only classes. And then we have our group sessions, and we have the ones that want to compete, and then we have the younger ones, the seniors, juniors. So we have a whole range of people coming in, but the classes are just, they can't get
How
enough.
long have you been coaching at Windmill now? Long time though, I assume.
I'm 29 now.
Okay.
Gave my age away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Women aren't supposed to tell people their age.
It's all right, I'm not 30 yet. So it's classed as young.
It's still impressive though, all that, and you're not hit 30 yet.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. You know what? That's
it.
one thing. I do keep myself busy. I'd say maybe when I was 17, 18. From then on, I was coaching.
It's good.
Yeah.
Very good. And I also saw you've... how did you get recognised to get involved in the Queen's Baton Relay then?
Oh, that was pretty cool. A few people from the community had voted for me to be a hometown hero. So one of the initiatives during the Commonwealth Games was to select hometown heroes, so local heroes, people that do things in grassroots sports, whether you're a coach or whatever you do at your club. And people in the community voted for me. And I didn't know about it until they rang me and said, you've been voted to be a hometown hero.
Bad feeling.
I know, it was amazing. I was like, what?
I did, but I want to leave that there. That was thanks to my brother. Shout out to my brother Abuzar. But yeah.
What? You knew? You knew what?
Nothing.
He says he voted. He says he voted.
Ah, okay. So there was a few people, which was nice. So, and they came over to me and they said, and I was like, okay, that's really, really nice and refreshing, to be appreciated in your community for the work you do.
Yeah.
100%.
So like you were asking the stick you get, but it's really important to highlight all the appreciation you get. And that's really nice of them. And, because they don't have to do that.
No.
And they did that. So they called me and then they said, you're going to be a hometown hero and you're going to be involved with all the upcoming events towards the games. And that's how I got involved in a lot of the events, pre-events.
So by being nominated as a hometown hero,
yeah,
that's where you then get recognised to...
So from there, after I did a lot of events, so I did some stage events, I did some community events, they then selected me. So there's 15 hometown heroes, if I'm right. Yeah, there was 15. they then selected me to meet the Queen and to give her the baton. I actually gave her the message to go into the baton. So that's what I had on the plate in the video.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my siblings. I just said, I'm going to London this weekend and I'll speak to you after when I'm back.
Oh, you didn't tell nobody you're going to go meet the Queen?
No,
You just...
I didn't tell anyone I was going to meet the Queen because I didn't want it to go wrong or, And I remember the day I met her, everyone was like, how does it feel? And she just felt like an old grandma. She was really cute. She was really nice and polite. So
I was just going to say, how does it feel? But yeah, a lot of people say that, don't they?
Yeah.
She was really polite. She was really nice, and it was a good experience.
Good.
I don't think many people could say they met the Queen, so
100%.
it's a big
Yeah,
one.
100%.
So from that event, so you got recognised there, then that's how you become part of this.
So I was part of the whole lead up to the game. So I got involved with like community engagement. I got involved with legacy aspect of things. I was involved, I did a lot of radio, a lot of TV, a lot of live events as well. So I got to share the stage with some of the bigger names, which was really exciting and quite.
I've seen some. I think
give us a name.
You've met quite a few people, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been very lucky to meet different people from different sports. So the likes of Colin Jackson, who now I can say is an amazing friend. Denise Lewis. She's amazing. Wow. She's amazing. Just the thing she does for women in sports.
Okay.
And being the president of England sports. So, I went to the Team England dinner. I got to network and speak to all these people that, make a difference in sport. So it's useful. It's refreshing. And you see a whole new world and what goes on behind the scenes.
How does it feel, also being recognised for the achievements that you've done and the work that you've put in, I suppose, in the club, in the community? How does it feel? How's the pressure feel on the shoulders? Because obviously there'll be a lot of young females and females in general. Yeah. And again, regardless of their walk of life, to come from looking up at you as an inspiration, as a role model, how do you feel about that? There's no doubt you're a role model. Come on.
I don't know, but
100%.
It's pressure. It is pressure. And I think as lovely as it feels and I enjoy it, I'm not going to lie, of course I enjoy it. I love it, and I challenge myself to do these events. And I just think sometimes it's that fear. It's that fear that you're going to say the wrong thing or be a bad example, because you are. And I do take my role at Windmill and generally quite seriously. I know that people are watching. The young people that come to the club look up to me. Whatever I say, it's almost like they just jump onto it. There's nothing that you say and they'll miss it. From down to how I conduct myself, what's okay in the gym, what's not okay in the gym. I tell you what's funny is one of the things I have in the club is when you're playing your music or whatever you're playing, you better not have any foul language in it.
Is that one of your rules in the gym?
Yeah, that's my rule. And generally they can't use foul language, or generally. And whether you're from families where it's a norm or it's not, in the club you're not doing that. Simple as. Good. And I've walked in and one of the lads must have had something on his phone. And he was like, "Oh, coach, wait at the door." And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Just put the volume down." And I'm like, "You better put the volume down."
That's some respect.
But but you know what? It's nice to see, and it sounds like a simple little thing, but they go away with these little things that they might not have got from elsewhere. And it sounds so simple, but in their life, not using foul language is going to go a long way.
Yes.
You can conduct yourself in a professional way, in a well-mannered way. You can do everything without the nonsense.
Yes.
And I want them to understand that. And I think it's a big pressure, but just be yourself and remind myself I'm human, I'm going to slip, and it's okay to slip. But I'm not silly to just, when I do slip, to put it out there and to advertise it. Do you know what I mean? I'm human, I'm going to sin at some point, but I'm not going to be silly and say, "Oh, I did this today." Do you know what I mean?
Because surely you'll have your off days, won't you?
Of course.
But when you, like I said, when you walk into the gym, you've got to make sure you're on point on your game, because like you said, these younger adults look at you for guidance and mentorship, and obviously you got to...
remember, it's a huge responsibility. These parents are sending their kids to you in hope and they have this thing that you're keeping them safe. You're the positive role model for them. They're putting that trust in you. That's a big responsibility.
100%.
100%, yeah.
Not just from a safeguarding perspective, but from a values and morals perspective. And I don't take that lightly. I do try my best to, to be as positive as I can for them and be there for them in their difficult times as well. I think we're full-time coaches and part-time counsellors, but that's just the reality. That's just the reality,
yeah,
isn't
tell
it?
me about it.
Yeah.
So how are you finding it when you're going around? Obviously, Birmingham, Smedley, because you're the hometown hero. Your face is everywhere. You're on the news. Because obviously you've been on BBC News, LBC. You've been as far as ARY in Pakistan.
ARY,
And I
Zindabad.
spoke Urdu as well.
Yeah.
We saw
So
that.
it's not just national news, UK, you're international news. So how are you finding it
You know what?
coping with that when you're going around and people are recognizing? Because like I said, you can't miss you, can you, end of the day? So it's
you
like
know what?
how
Like
how,
you said, you stand
Every
out.
time I see the pictures, I cringe.
why?
Because they just get the worst angles of me. And I think you guys are going to do the same, so I've just accepted it.
Oh.
They're just, my siblings and my cousins, what they do is they've got a group and they screenshot all the horrible pictures that come on the media or whatever.
Okay.
And they'll send it to me. Look, you're slipping again. Look, you're slipping. I'm like, oh, forget it, man. I can't keep up with it. But
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, the supportive family.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's been nice. I mean, a lot of clubs have asked to like kind of work with us and come in and like meet you and stuff, and we're always open to that. We don't kind of shut that down. We love networking. We love growing opportunities for our boxers. But yeah, I just
No, the
I just
reason why I
can't
asked
believe it.
that
I don't
is
think it's gotten.
But she walks in with the Conor McGregor swag like
Oh hell
Yeah.
no!
No, because the reason I said she actually reminds me more of Khabib, because Khabib's got a rule: if you don't have this particular haircut,
Yes.
you know, when you turn up at the
Yeah,
gym,
yeah. You get
you're
beat
getting a
up.
zero all over, and then you're getting beats. Yeah, so I like
don't
that
know,
about the music.
I like that, but then I don't know if I should like that. It's the first time I've ever been compared to Khabib. I'm a bit worried.
No, I'm talking about the
No, I'm
athleticism and what you achieve. But yeah, no, obviously the reason why I asked that, I mentioned obviously BBC, LBC, and ARY and so on, and various others as well, is because you've got some murals, haven't you?
I have,
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
That
I told
was
you this
amazing.
interview's sick, bro.
You know what's good about that was it was on my birthday.
Wow.
So on my birthday, the day before, she rang. One of the agents rang me and she said, "Oh, are you free tomorrow morning at 7 a.m?" I said, "It's my birthday. I got annual leave. I kind of want to chill and just relax. Not that I throw a party. I just want to chill on my day." And she said, "Oh, something special. I think you're gonna want to see it. So if you can free up a bit of your time, a couple of interviews in the morning, and then you can enjoy the rest of your day." I said, "Okay." Came 7 before the sun was out. We were there. And they showed us the wall. So in city centre, they've got a picture.
Did you know about this?
So I only knew the day before.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had a picture, a drawing, a painting. Sorry, by the artist Gent 48. He's an amazing artist, and it's me and another hometown hero, who's a cricketer, and it was just amazing because in my city, my face has been painted on a wall in city centre as well, and that's when I was a bit of a show off, because every time my friends would say, "Let's meet up in town, where shall we meet?" I said, "Meet me at my face." So we're gonna meet.
Oh, she's got it on
mate.
spot on the map.
And they were laughing. It was like, "Oh, here we go again."
But the problem is, which face? Because you've got more than one, haven't you?
What do you mean?
Mural.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Multiple murals. We
No,
told
but
you we
when
did
we're
that
in city
recently.
centre, yeah. So the
Okay.
other one was in Alexandra Stadium.
Wow.
So that one, the artist messaged me and he was like, I'm currently painting this and just giving you a heads up what it looks like initially. I was shocked. I was surprised because the opening ceremony and closing ceremony were taking place at that stadium. So everyone got to see it as well. Yeah, pretty amazing. A bit surreal. Pinch me moments.
But like,
I find that amazing, like this.
your mural's all right and it hasn't been defaced or anything. People
No.
enjoy it.
But bro,
There was a
do
little
you
bit
think
of a-
someone's gonna come defacing
No,
mural?
bro. You know, it's Birmingham.
Think about
and,
it,
you
Let's
know,
not give people ideas on the podcast. Yeah.
biggest city in
Yeah.
England. You know what I mean?
I think, you know what, we're very blessed to have a really diverse community.
Yeah.
And that diversity just brings open mindsets, challenges, and
Yes.
it's always that you're learning. So I can't say that we have that. I wouldn't say we're perfect, although Birmingham's home and I love it. But we do have that kind of, there's something for everyone and everyone's celebrated for who they are. And I love that about Birmingham. So when you ask me questions about hate and things like that, I can't really say there's big things. It's usually when I'm out of Birmingham.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's usually when I'm out
That's
of
another
Birmingham.
box.
Okay, yeah.
Got to explore that box.
Yeah.
So currently, you're a coach at Amateur Windmill
Windmill,
Boxing Club, yeah? Shout out to Windmill Amateur Boxing Club, my brothers Abu Sar and Abu Sufyan. How are you finding there then? What's coming up? What sort of things are you doing there? Are you teaching classes or is it personals, one-to-ones? What are you doing?
So we do a bit of everything.
Okay.
We have our set classes. We have times for one-to-ones if you choose to do them. At the moment, we're planning our first boxing banquet. So it's going to be a dinner show.
Yeah,
which
is
really
that in,
exciting.
I think
26th
February or
26th
yeah?
of Feb.
Okay.
So it's the first one for Windmill, a big one. It's going to be in a fancy hall, Hadley Hall.
What's the times for this?
It's 12 o'clock in the day.
Okay.
So it's going to be a day show. We've got some big faces coming to support us. We've got a lot of sponsors, which, we're grateful for. All our sponsors are, from across the country. So it's not just we're getting sponsors for Birmingham, but
Wow.
Stoke as well, reaching out to Stoke. But,
Sunny Stoke.
Sunny Stoke.
Sunny
But yeah,
Stoke.
we're getting that support and it's all the lead up to it. So boxers are currently in a stage where they need to be on form and plans
And not
are...
get on the other side of Coach Haseebah because we've got a show coming up.
Have you got
yeah.
female boxers on that show?
We're hoping to, depending on matches and...
Okay.
If you can match them up, yeah.
Nice.
So it just comes down to, with amateurs, the night before someone ring and say, oh,
Yeah.
I've
Well,
hurt
put
my
it this way then,
ankle.
have you got ladies ready
Yes.
from your gym?
Yes.
So if they don't want to turn up, that's up to them, isn't it? But have you got
Yeah.
people
yeah.
ready to fight?
Yeah.
We just try and match them up.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we have, that's one of our achievements. We were very happy to have our first female licensed boxer she's a lot older now. And that was a big achievement for us. And then after that, it was just like a ripple effect. They all want to box and they all want to try it.
Yeah.
And then the parents are like, well, if she can do it, then so can my daughter. And it becomes that kind of comfortability. So we've got a lot more girls on the scene now.
Very good. So just remind us again, what's the date of the show?
26th of Feb.
Sunday, 26th of
Sunday
Feb,
the
isn't it?
26th of
Sunday. And 12 till 6 at Hadley Stadium.
Yes, that's the one. Yes,
down there.
Snatch knows.
I've been a few times, but I don't want to come across biased to you. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's all linked to my brother Abuzar, so it's not what you know, it's who you know. But anyway,
You even say his name in a Stoke accent. Abizar.
How's
What
this-
is that?
Go on, then. How do you say it then?
Abu
His
Zar.
name is Abu Dhar. That's
Yeah.
his
Zar.
name. But yeah,
okay.
you guys and your little Stoke accent.
I haven't got an accent. This is the first person to say I've got an
You
accent.
guys are really strong. I
Have
think
we?
you guys are really strong.
you think?
accents.
It's the Brummies, man.
And that's the first thing that I was like, I'm going on this podcast.
Am I going to
I'm
understand
gonna
what
sound
these
like a
guys are
daft dummy.
saying? Is that what you're thinking? Am I going to understand what these guys are
No,
saying?
I thought, what are they going to understand me?
No. We know enough Brummies.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll be rolling with Abuzar for 10 plus years.
There you go.
Yeah, every time he'd come back after work, he'd say, "Oh, nudge this, nudge that." It's almost like we knew you before we met you.
Aw,
From,
how-
you
how
know what?
cute.
From when we met, me and Abuzar just clicked from day one. The love.
Do you want me to leave and get him on
always
the
there.
podcast?
I think we should.
I'm actually saving the best one till last, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So, mashallah, you've done a lot. Yeah? You've achieved a lot in this space that you've sort of come on the scene from 17, 18 to 28, 29. Yeah?
Yeah.
You've achieved a lot, mashallah. So what you thinking moving forward? What's in the pipeline? Has it ever made you come back? I want to ask you nothing. Has it ever made you come back to boxing once you've managed to push through the fighting wear, shall we say? Has it made you go back to like, I want to fight?
I want to beat someone up.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I want to be on
sometimes.
that side of the rope, not this side anymore.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, you do get that kind of.
Fire.
You do, and you just.
Especially when you watch a fight, you're like,
Yeah. But I think with amateurs, there's an age limit as well.
okay.
The highest, I think the age you can go up to is 40, but you won't really find many 30-year-old women in the game. And
Okay.
it's a lot of a. I think you wouldn't really find many. I don't think I know one 30-year-old amateur, actually, to be fair. It's younger. It's the younger kind of ages. And within the ruling and age limits, there's a lot going on there. And truthfully now, I'm going to be 30 next year. Like, that's no joke. That makes me really sad, quite depressing. But
Don't be. Pete, it's a lie. I'm 31. Everybody was saying, you'll hit 30. This will happen, that. I've never felt better. Seriously.
if I don't feel better, I'm coming for you.
You can come for me, but don't listen to people who tell you hit 30. It's all in the head. Seriously.
reckon?
Yeah. It's all in the
I
head.
like
If you-
to think it's in the head,
if you
but my
start
knees
believing-
feeling funny, my jaw feels funny, I've got a bad rotator
Well,
cuff, I got it all.
with that, you just got to be like, okay, wear and tear.
Yeah. I think, now I'm definitely more on the coaching side because life's just
Yeah.
busy. I got married 5 months ago.
Mashallah.
So very
mashallah.
new.
Mubarak.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And, it's just balancing everything. So running a home and then, making time for your family, making time for your in-laws, making time for your siblings, then your friends, then you're doing your day job and you're doing your evening job.
This was going to be the next
She
question.
answered
It's a
our
lot.
question.
Innit? Yeah, like how do you fit
Everything in.
everything into this as well as family, home time, like I said,
Yeah, I'm
in-laws,
not gonna
home,
lie, it is
parents,
difficult.
gym? How's it enough hours in the day?
It was not.
And you got your day job, don't forget, 9 to 5.
Yeah, it is. It's very difficult. We're constantly running around. And I remember when I first met my husband, I said to him, "Windmill is my life." He said, "No, it's not. It's part of your life." I said, "It's my life. You either understand that now or you're going to understand it later."
Was that like there was that question number 1?
I was like, "I'm going to do boxing. Boxing is my life. Do you like that? Okay, now we can proceed with the
Now
conversation."
let's move on, yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And then you got to meet 5 other brothers, so good luck.
Yeah.
But no, for me, like literally, it is difficult. But because I've done it since I was young, I know that after work, I have this time, cook up something, quickly make a meal, get ready, and then off to the gym. That's been my routine. So when I don't go to the gym, I feel odd. So that's kind of my routine. Or if at worst cases, we do have a really supportive team. If I can't make a session, I'll be like, "Why don't you cover me today, and then I'll cover you next week or whatever." So we do have kind
Supportive
of that
team.
flexibility.
I did mention that to Naki because I said, hopefully, inshallah, if they can, they'll come. But I did say she would naturally have a busy schedule because of what you do.
Yeah.
And we did say this.
No, I didn't want to come
try.
across difficult, but it's just.
No, it's
No,
cool.
no,
We won't discuss
no.
how all the bookings and all that
No,
happened. How long
don't.
this has been going on for. We'll leave that out.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that long.
People don't understand how, when busy people, how hard it is. Not just you, I'm talking for myself. Like, I've had the same complaint from people. You're not making time. We need to do this, we need to do that. I'm like, look, you don't understand. I've got so much going on. I haven't got the time. And I understand exactly what you're coming from.
It's really hard because it's not just those physical things. Then before you get to a session, you have to have your lesson plan.
Yes.
And then before you get to work, you got to make sure everything's in place for work. Any meetings you have, all that prep.
Yeah.
People think it's
You
just a
just turn
session
up.
and you're going to run a session. The prep and the preparation before that session is done well in advance, and that time is taken out as well. So it is difficult. But I guess it all comes down to routine and trying to... I have a bit of a checklist, borderline OCD, but I
I
tick
was
it
just
off.
going to ask, you've got to be OCD,
I
haven't
tick
you?
it off. The only thing I think I'm OCD is about my kitchen. Even if I'm going work, even if I'm going to the gym, it has to be clean before I leave. Because if I come home
Thank
It's a
you.
good
and it's a
OCD.
mess,
My missus hates me.
oh,
I've got too many OCDs.
Oh no! But I think some are good. Some are
Yeah,
good
yeah,
OCDs to have.
They're good, in my opinion. They're brilliant.
They're
Like,
not OCD.
I
just
think
cleanliness.
OCD is brilliant. Yeah, no, 100%.
it has to be
yeah,
like
we're
this.
on the
Boom,
same
boom,
platform.
boom. Bang it out.
One thing is timing. Oh, if you're late, I can't deal with late.
I'm joking.
Get out of here.
My brother Abdullah made this statement for me. I don't need to say anything.
There you
Anyway.
go.
But so how, obviously, mashallah, you've got a lot going on, personally, at work,
Yeah.
and then you're coaching.
This is where I'd say hats off to mums. This is where I say hats off to mums because I can't imagine
Yeah.
if kids are in the mix how you do it. It's just
I think it's a bit biased, that
crazy.
is, but okay.
No, I'm not saying taking away from dads, but I think naturally some things that a mother has to do,
Yeah.
it's just draining. And I only say that because I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I see how it affects my sister and sister-in-laws. And it's not to say that the men don't have the pressure. I think they're just good at hiding it, or bad for hiding it. I don't know which one. But there's definitely, I'm just thinking for me and my situation, one day I hope I can have kids, and I hope I do. But when that comes into the mix, I mean, I'm going to have to strap one on the shoulder and take him to the gym because what am I going to do? Yeah.
So how do you find time to, how can I put it, time out to recover some, Haseebah time when everything gets too much, or generally, do you have a break? Have you got a cycle or a pattern every 2 weeks you have a break, or a month, or do you just try do what you can? How do you recharge? How do you have
Thought you
time
said
out
have you got
away
a
from all
cycle?
this?
A bicycle. I used to have one. My getaways, I like to go away. I like to travel.
Okay.
So I travel quite a lot, to be fair. I've travelled to a lot of countries. I like to see new things. I like to be in new places. And I'm not afraid to do it by myself either. So I've travelled. I've been a solo traveller. I've done it all.
Good fun solo traveling.
Now
is.
I've got myself a travel partner for life. Let's hope he's as enthusiastic as me. He's a good egg. So yeah, I like to travel, and I think that's what I look forward to. So I'll book my holidays, so I know that I'm working these 3 months, and I'll have a little treat at the end.
Yeah.
Then I'll work another 3 months or 4 months, and then book myself somewhere, a little getaway. And
Have you got anything planned to get away after the show?
I hope so. Yeah. So
No, I didn't mean
after
this
the
show. I meant the boxing show.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant she's had enough of Stoke. She's had 2 hours in Stoke. I'm gonna need a
I
holiday.
need to go abroad.
I need a break.
Yeah, I'm hoping just before Ramadan that I can go away. Either Egypt or Tunisia, we'll see.
Very
Have you been to either one before
I
or not?
haven't to
Neither
to
one.
either.
No.
That's why I'm kind of choosing them. Yeah. So we'll see.
That'll be good.
Talking of holidays, have you ever been to Malaysia?
No, not yet.
Okay, if you're a coffee drinker, you need to go to Penang. The best coffee you will ever find.
Seriously?
Oh, I'm not even a coffee drinker.
Better
and I
than the
like
South
it.
Americas?
Honestly, the best coffee I've ever tasted in my life.
Wow. Okay.
And you know how I know that it's becoming the next big thing? A lot of the Arabs from the UAE just fly over just to get the coffee.
Oh,
Wow.
so collect coffee from there, bring it back. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and I'm guessing they're probably rebranding it and all of that good stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, Penang's amazing. Their coffee is amazing. And I don't like hot drinks. So that's when you know it's good.
Nice.
Point to note.
Yeah,
Definitely.
viewers, Malaysia, coffee. Stokies love coffee.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, trust
Okay.
me.
Okay.
You've done pads, haven't you, for Amir Khan, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Mr. Khan. How was that then? And have you had other boxes at the gym?
Yeah. So we've had Ashley Theophane.
Okay.
Lovely. It was great to have him down. It's great to have take Amir Khan and pads. A very humble guy. Funny. He's a funny guy. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I think first he took it easy, and I said, okay, what am I power into it then? And he did. And everyone was laughing because I was making him work a bit.
Yeah. I'd have loved to have been there on that one.
But it was good. It was really nice. And it was really nice of him to let us do that,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, good experiences. Really good. I think I want Canelo next.
Any other boxes you've held pads for, like professional boxes?
Professional boxers, probably not I don't know, no bigger names.
Okay.
Just general. Whoever pops down to the gym, I'll take them on pads.
Nice.
I've had a few influencers on pads now as well.
We don't class them as boxers.
Oh, yeah.
No, not boxers, but just get them running.
YouTube.
Have you had it where somebody's come in the gym and basically, not trying to be sexy, but because you're a female around, they're like, yeah, I can, you know, like your brother's mate said, you're like, oh, yeah, you know, have you had it where you've had to put basically somebody in their place in the actual ring?
Oh, loads of times.
Oh, man, I need to go to the gym.
I think what you have to remember is, I think one of the biggest misconceptions in boxing is people think you can't spar males, but you can spar a male. You can't compete with a male. So sparring, we all spar each other, and I think people are like, oh, but you know, but sparring is a controlled environment.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
remember that. So no one's gonna, you know, like knock anyone's lights out. Do you know what I mean? But especially back in the day, there was less females in your category.
Yes.
So you're only going to get experience by sparring males. So for me, I don't think twice, but I have to remind myself sometimes. I have to explain that to parents, because sometimes I think, oh, they'll get it. But I have to explain it to them, no, your daughter's going in the ring with him for 3 rounds because she needs it. And that's the best practice she's going to get.
Yes.
And obviously when they understand what I'm saying, then they're like, okay, yeah, she can go for it. Initially, they're like, what?
And what sort of what age range from, like, what age do they come into the gym up to?
So
I suppose there's no
all
end to the
ages,
age, but what's the youngest sort of you run classes from and teach?
So we have under 10s, 5 to 10 Cubs classes on
Okay.
Saturday mornings. Then we have juniors, youth, seniors.
Oh, right.
So they're all categorised according to ability and age. So yeah, we are busy Mondays to Saturdays at the gym.
And Abuzar and Abu Sufyan, your brothers, they're still heavily involved in the gym, aren't
Yeah,
they?
massively. So Abu Sufyan is head coach.
Head coach, into
Abu Zar is senior coach. So when he gets a head, we're all quiet.
I would say you want to be careful on Abuzar,
yeah.
especially.
It's funny because when we coach together, he's bad cop, I'm good cop.
Oh, okay.
And then when it's me and Abu Sinan, who's my third brother, who's with us as well, me and he's the nice one and I'm the nasty one. So it's like we balance each other out. So, but it's funny because whenever something happens, the boys give me the hard jobs. They're like, oh, you deal with that. And I have to be the nasty coach and say, this is off. Because they know I'll just get it done. Yeah. You know what? I think they're very grounded. They know how hard it's taken to build up a place. And, you know, things can easily fall. Today you have something, tomorrow you don't. So it's just really important to keep grounded, keep your feet on the floor. And one thing I love that they've established is that professionalism. They don't let it waver, friends or no friends.
Very
when you come to the
disciplined,
gym,
guys. Very
this is
disciplined.
the gym rules. These are the rules we go by. If you don't like it, the place ain't for you. And it's as simple as that. It's black and white. And
Perfect.
you see a lot of clubs at the moment, and there's a lot going on in the clubs.
Yeah.
Rules are everywhere. There's no
And you guys have
safety.
taken over the gym as such. It's been passed down to you, hasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, to Abuzar, to your
yeah.
brothers. Is that right?
So it was Windmill was run by Bill initially. So Bill Lawrence used to run the club, and as he was getting older, he had to retire. And he said he actually had a nephew at the club, but he didn't ask him to do it. They sat the boys down and said, "Can you kind of take on?" And they were young at the time, and they did, and they've held on ever since and held their word. And
How many years that now? How long's he had it then?
Very long time. I think I'm just guessing. I'm just thinking how old did Abu Sufyan look at the time? I'm guessing in his early 20s.
Wow.
It's been a long time. And Abu Zar's nearly 40 now.
Yeah, because I was the same. Me and Abs are nearly 40 now.
But going back to your...
That's why when you talk about age, I just stayed quiet, looking down, thinking, you feeling like that, not even 30. You feeling like that, 31. I'm done for.
No. You know what? I think just going back to your point about people being, having negative comments. But I think sometimes what it is important to understand, if that is somebody's opinion and if that's, religiously the case, then you have to respect that. And you can't force your opinion on them. And equally...
I think what Naj is saying is these same people who said you can't punch in the face are the ones you're going to see on a Friday, Saturday night, knocking them back. Or the kind of people who go to a restaurant.
I don't want to get into too deep.
The kind of people who go to a restaurant and say, is this halal? And then they'll order a vodka martini.
You know what? I'll tell you, I want to say similar, but what annoys me is people that say, we shouldn't be in a combat sport, sisters in a combat sport. Or even brothers in a combat sport, and then they're putting pictures or quotes of a Habib up, and I'm just
That's exactly my point. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes,
so
confused.
my point was,
and it comes from the same people that outrightly give out ruling, and it's just like
no, but you know what it is. I respect their opinion, and if that's what they want to do, that's fine.
Yeah. See, this is the thing I worry about, though. So when you say why are you nervous when it comes to things like this, and truthfully, it's because I don't want to talk about religion, and not because I'm scared to talk about religion, because I have no standing. I have no right to talk about religion because I'm not a scholar. I can barely translate something in basic Arabic to you.
No, I agree with you, and that's why I'm not preaching.
No,
do you know what I mean? I can't
not
tell you what's right and wrong.
I'm not preaching.
But go with your local go with who you follow and go with
we're just pointing out the hypocrisy.
Yeah,
that's
it happens. Oh, it happens. The same people that say I shouldn't be doing it, it's okay for their sons to do it because they're a guy. That's it. And it's and that's culture. If you're coming to me with a religious perspective, I can value that.
And
I can understand that.
Enough.
And I can put my hands 100%. Up and say, that's 100% right. Yeah. But you're saying to me, your son can do it and your daughter can't. I now have a problem with you because you got no standing, you got no value to your opinion.
Yes.
Like, what is this about?
No, I agree 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I refrain from the conversations around rulings and all of that because truthfully I don't know.
No, I agree.
I can't give you the in-depth. But I can just go on what I know. I can go on what feels right with me and who I follow and what guidance I get. And when I get local imams saying to me, our women need to know how to look after themselves because the reality of the situation is when you get attacked for wearing your headscarf, there's no brothers there to help you.
No.
You're alone and that's when you're attacked and that's when you're a victim. What are you going to do?
That's the most vulnerable.
So sometimes before people jump on it, they need to understand that with some women, they're not coming for competition.
Yes.
They're coming to learn how to compete, but they might not actually go into competition. So before you drop your rulings on people, just find out what that person's doing. And if they're learning, or if they're getting fit, or if they're learning self-defense, then where's the issue?
Yeah.
You've now just dropped a ruling on people who are actually not doing anything wrong. So I think people need to be very mindful of what they say before they say it.
Yes.
Do you know what I
Because you're
find?
accountable for your words.
100%, yeah. I think this in itself, the last bit when we start touching on things is it's a podcast in itself. And I'd love to invite you again if you've got the time, you can make the time.
Do you want me again?
Why not? I think it's been a good conversation.
100%, honestly, because it's people like yourself who sort of break these stereotypical barriers and explaining to. I'm not gonna try to explain to somebody, in Islam or in our religion, females wear this. They'll just be like, oh yeah, that's what you want to say. Well, no, do you know what?
Sometimes it's nice.
There's
to
a
hear
prime
from
example
people.
of England's first and only coach who wears a scarf.
Not only anymore. Now, there's
Well, you're still the first, though. Nobody can take that
yeah.
title off, yeah? So the first one, and we worship Muslim, so, we don't necessarily keep them locked away, for a better word, yeah? And I'm sure you're here to represent that. Yeah, and that.
It's the other way around, we lock you lot up.
But it's sad, though, that we have to do this sometimes and touch on these things for people to... I know it's all by education, but on the same hand, it's a bit sad as well.
And it sounds daft, but some people genuinely don't know.
No.
They just
So
genuinely
you just dropped the line in there. It's all about being real.
So is that your line? Sorry.
It is now.
No, it is that.
No, but it's about having genuine conversation and just having that open table, isn't it? Like, even within our own culture, people don't understand until we speak to them. Like, I know young South Asian men who will say to me, but why do you wear the hijab? Because if it's not important within their family or they've never been raised around it, they don't understand it.
They don't understand the importance.
And it's important for us to not assume that everyone should know. By me looking at you thinking, oh, two brown lads, they should know. It's not the case.
True.
You know, and even me, I'm on a journey. The way I used to wear it may have been different to the way I wear it now. The way might wear it in 5 years' time. You know, everything's a chance to improve and learn, and and that's life. You know, you're never gonna have it all together, are you?
Yeah, 100%. And this is like what you're saying now, this accountability and the responsibility. A lot of these values are now missing from the younger generation.
Yeah.
You know, you can give them a path to walk on, but they don't want to walk on it. But there's people like you who've had to struggle.
To make that path.
Create a path. They don't understand how hard it is to create a path where there's so many obstacles and then walk on it and then get everybody else to respect you. They don't understand this.
Yeah.
And when you try and give them a path and just walk on it, they can't do it. They're too lazy to do it. They're like, it's too hard, or, you know.
But the value's not there.
Exactly.
If something's given to you, there's no value.
There's no
Yes.
When you got to
appreciation.
work for it,
Yeah.
there's a value.
No appreciation.
But then...
But I think it comes from parenting a lot as well. I mean, mashallah, your dad, who I'd love to meet one day and shaking him like, you bad man,
You
top
got to.
G.
You got him.
He's a top G.
Yeah, original top
You know,
G, bro.
You know
The
what's
way
funny?
he's-
He can come across a very stern man. He can. Well, he is. He's someone you
lovely,
don't step.
lovely.
A lot of these people are
But
like,
he's calm.
a lot of these people who, you know, all have this kind of value or standard. If you looked at him first and you didn't understand, or you had a proper conversation or greeted him in the right way, even
Yeah.
like I'm talking from my perspective. If
Yeah.
somebody greeted me in a different way, I'd give them a very bad kind of attitude or a stern attitude, like you say. But if they warm up to you, the loveliest people ever.
It's true.
Because
it's
inside, to have the values he's created for you and your brothers, like that is massive.
Yeah.
Especially in the times, like you say, your dad is 70 years old, so we're talking like 70s, 80s, 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even now, till this age, like there's a lot of families who are still living in that backward era.
Definitely. And you know what's funny? Like, not even just my mom and my dad were amazing through the journey. My nan, you know, she was amazing. She goes to me, I love what you do. And she said to me, you going to the gym now, you know, and she'd check my kit, is it matching? Or, you know, she'd be like, I'll change this or do this. And then she said to me, oh, why don't you come to Pakistan with me? And I said, what for? And she said, you could join the cricket team. And I said, not really a cricket star. But she was so supportive of
She just wanted you to do
having,
something, yeah.
You know, the choices and
Achieve
to
something.
do different things. And I think, you know, because my parents were raised in families where these things weren't looked down upon, it wasn't too hard for them to then let me go and do it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So obviously it has a knock-on effect, and now hopefully we're going to raise our kids to be
Inshallah.
hopefully
Inshallah.
one day hopefully half decent people,
Inshallah.
and that's the main aim. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's hard. I think when we look at kids today, I think sometimes we say, oh, they got it on a plate, but they've got their own challenges, and I think each generation brings its own challenge.
Yes, to do, but
I think we had, to some extent, I loved life when I was younger. I think young people today have too
I'd love
much
to go
pressure.
back to kids again.
I feel like young people today have too much pressure from every angle.
You
I
think
don't remember.
pressure of what?
Pressure
Go
of
on,
what?
ex-
Pressure of
Honestly,
what?
I see kids literally crying in exam rooms. I didn't even know when I was having exams. Like, I was academically quite
but
decent.
that's not pressure. That's their let me find a good PC word.
Snowflakeism.
Yes.
No,
100%.
a lot of them. I
This is
know
something
some
we're
of the
gonna
young people
disagree
that
on.
really work hard. And
In what sense
they want to
hard
get their A's and they want to get their, you know, the
That's
highest grades
fair enough.
possible.
100%.
That's a different cry.
But if they
That's
don't
a
get
different
that
cry.
1A, it's like all hell has broken. I'm happy with a B.
That's your
But-
job.
like the world is massive. Like you don't have to do what, you know, like, for example, in the Asian community, you got to be a doctor, pharmacist,
Yeah.
lawyer, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Nah, there's you know, hundreds,
so
millions
much
of things.
more.
There's going to be so much more, yeah.
And-
No, but I think, you know what? We need to save this to get Haseebah on
Are you a
Yeah,
teacher?
yeah.
Are you a
on
teacher?
another episode.
So I used to be a teacher.
I used to be
I
a
left
teacher.
teaching. I left teaching to do what I'm doing.
Okay, nice.
High school.
I used to work in high school.
Yeah, I'm high school.
Specifically Prue schools, so schools for young people who expelled from mainstream
Yeah,
schools.
yeah.
So Prue schools, and then I worked in a mental health institute as well.
Yeah.
So very different kettle of fish you're
Yes.
dealing with, but also very eye-opening.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I mean by there's a lot
Yeah,
out there.
I get you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it myself, but I've seen the other side as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. Get a teaching job abroad. Best thing ever.
There you go. So, Haseebah, you've obviously been very busy in your personal life and business, in your career. What's next for you then? I mean, you've done so much so far. Mashallah, you haven't even hit 30. Yeah. What's next for Haseebah then?
Any goals?
What do we need to watch out for?
Okay,
What's
so-
coming up?
I'll be doing my level 3 soon.
Mashallah, good.
I hope to be holding ladies squad sessions and have Windmill as the base for the West Midlands.
Wow.
And that'll be nice to kind of bring all the clubs in and kind of have us as a headquarters. That's a big aim for me, so we'll see if I can achieve it. And there's a lot of little aims as well, just to have a good balanced life and keep up my own fitness as well, looking at the feet. So, for the gym, I want to get more young females licensed up, get them out there. We now have another female coach. She's my little apprentice at the moment. As soon as she turns 18, she'll be getting her badge.
Very good.
Yes. So I hope to go back and do the tutor course. One of the initiatives I had was because I was the only female on my first course. Clearly, there's an issue. You know, women don't want to come. Yeah. So one of the things I have in mind is, what we suggested was having ladies-only courses, which now they have. So I'm hoping maybe I can teach on a few.
Yeah, or lead them.
Yeah, 100%.
So we'll see. That's what's next.
That's good. It's good. We like it.
Haseebah, thank you very much for making the time.
Yeah,
thank you for travelling down.
Oh, thank you.
And we've got a quick fire round. We just finished with, if that's okay. Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw the last one.
Oh, did you? Okay.
That's what she's thinking. Oh, no. Okay. So technically you should be prepped for this then if you saw the last one.
So.
Do you want to go first one or shall I? I don't mind.
Yeah, I'll go for the first
one.
Go on then. Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi?
I hate football.
Okay.
But the only reason I'm saying Messi is because he's short and I'm short. So let's go with it.
Fair enough.
Ferrari or Lamborghini?
I think a Ferrari.
Oh, yes. Oh, man. What is it about Lambos?
Lambo, bro.
Ferrari is the sexiest car ever made.
Doesn't matter, mate.
Like, Lambos are nothing. It's just like an offspin of a Ferrari. Like, and they wanted to make a beast.
Okay.
I think any car's nice. Just get me A to Z.
That's your take on it, but okay. Your next one.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Go on.
MMA or boxing?
Obviously boxing.
Yeah. Go on, your turn.
Khabib or Conor?
Khabib. Don't even ask me that
Good.
question.
I kind of thought that,
Right.
but yeah.
We don't know how clued up you are in terms of modern politics. Not politics, but like...
Okay.
I'm sure.
So, Andrew Tate or Greta Thunberg?
I ain't got time for these debates.
Good.
I have not got time.
That's a PC
Good
answer.
one.
PC answer.
Not even like, who are these people, man? Who are you getting your education from, please? I think this is the problem. Too many people are watching these people and getting their knowledge from them. Go to a real teacher, please.
Good.
I like that answer. Yeah.
Go to a real teacher.
You're giving these people time of day and you're learning nothing from it.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time. You're sitting there having debates. Women should do this. Women, just do what you gotta do.
Yes.
Just do what you gotta do.
People got a lot of
Very
time
good.
for BS.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah, exactly, nonsense.
Yeah. It's sitting there having debates. Women should cook. Are you gonna eat at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Just learn the life skill.
Let's go cook, yeah.
Just learn the life
Yeah.
skill. By the time they've finished that debate, I've made my keema aloo matar.
And I'm eating, yeah, exactly.
I'm actually getting quite good at cooking now, guys.
Carry on debating.
Soon.
Yeah. Thank you very much again.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice. Thanks, me.
This is for your recognition.
I love my flowers.
Thank you.
And that's for your diet. What's your diet?
Thank you so much. You really didn't have to do that. That's really nice. But I'll be having words with the boys saying, bring these back for me. Thank you, guys.
No, it's a pleasure. We we've been looking forward to this, haven't we?
Just once more, when's the show? Sunday?
26th of Feb.
Sunday,
12
26th of Feb.
sharp.
12 o'clock sharp, Hadley Stadium,
Hadley
guys.
Hall, Hadley Hall.
Hadley Hall, sorry. Hadley
Don't
Hall.
change the venue.
Don't change the venue last minute, yeah. I'll have Abzar on my back, yeah.
We could promote the poster or something on Instagram.
Yeah,
or
no,
something,
everything will be in the link on
share it
Instagram,
with
on
you guys,
YouTube, yeah. It'll all be there anyway, and the link to the Instagram pages for Windmill Amateur Boxing Club.
So on that note,
hasta la vista, baby.
Till the next time.